All right. Well, welcome to the channel. I'm starting this series to document my poker journey from recreational player to eventually a quote unquote professional player, which, from my understanding, a recreational player is someone who plays just every now and then for fun, and a professional player is someone who plays poker for as a full time thing, as their living for their livelihood. So, my name's Tony, and this is gonna be a full on series of me documenting my progress and my journey in learning the game of poker. And yeah, I'm excited. And a little bit about myself and my experience in poker. My stepdad taught me how to play poker when I was around 12 years old. Yeah, as a funny thing, teach your kid how to play this game. But I'm glad he did teach me that. It was a fun game to play as a kid with my family. As a Filipino, we have always a lot of family house parties, so every time we would play poker. And being a kid, I thought it was so fun just being able to it was like be able to make money. Like for me, I've always had fun time. Like whenever I would take money from my uncles or things like that. So I always had like a liking for the game since I was a kid, and um, I remember when I was 21. Before when I finally turned 21, I remember playing in a tournament in Vegas. As soon as I turned 21, I wanted to test my skills in the casino. I remember playing in like $100 something tournament in Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, and out of like I think 100 something players, I remember placing third, and that was such a good time. And I remember like being so fucking scared and like uh, playing. It's so different from playing your home games with your family. So like going in a casino with people you don't know is intimidating at first, but it was cool to see that I was able to place third at that time. And now fast forward, I'm 25 now, and since that time I haven't really been playing poker. Been playing like some house games every now and then with family and stuff. But after that time, I never really went back to the casino. And just as of recently, this year, I played in a house game, and it was one of the bigger stakes of a house game that I was normally not used to. And in that game, I ended up with of a buy-in of $300. I ended up that day with I think over 1,100, and that was like a big like oh shit like damn that was the most money I ever made in like a poker session, and especially a cash game. Normally the house games I was playing at with my family were playing only for like $10-$20 buy-ins, so $300 buy-in home game was quite a lot for me at that time earlier this year. And after kind of winning, kind of gave me a little bit of confidence to kind of visit it and see what it's about. And as of like 2 weeks ago, I started studying and watching more YouTube videos about poker and learning more about it. And last week, I went to the casino for the first time to play my first cash game last Friday. And from that experience, I played a total of I played a total of 18 hours that last Friday. And I know 18 hours is a long time, and I learned my lesson not to play that long of a session. But my point was, I played that Friday, and I out of the whole session, I lost about just $81. But at one point I was up like $300-$400. But I noticed something about like the way I was thinking and playing against other players that maybe I can do this. So I continued playing Saturday, and then that Sunday, and then now this is week 2 of me playing. But after that Friday, Saturday, Sunday of playing, I ended up of that weekend being profited in of like $600. So that was my first week of playing cash poker, and I learned a whole lot from that first weekend of just playing poker. And just those, I think I played a total of like 30 something hours within that weekend. It's quite a lot, and I messed up that first session. I shouldn't have played that many hours of 18 hours. And so now and I'm now in my second week, so that was last week, and my goal is to continue getting better at this game, and I see myself the ultimate goal now. I did a writing of my goals and kind of use Gemini to kind of refine like what would be setting like some structure and plan into improving my game as a poker. Ultimate goal right now would be to be able to leave my main work. Right now, I still work my main job, and my main job is a great line of work. It pays my bills and then some, and allows me the freedom to be able to also like travel the world. So my main work is great, but something about poker I really enjoy, and I want to just learn more about the game and become better. There's something about this like competitive feeling to it that I just want to grow and become better with it. But the ultimate goal would be to be able to build a sustainable poker income and transition into full-time play. And starting off, I've dedicated $5,000 that I can start off with as a bankroll, and the goal to be to grow that to $30,000 within 2 years, 24 months. And I think it's a reasonable goal. It's to average about $1,200 in profit per month. That's based on a 15-hour win rate, averaging about 80 hours of play per month. So it's still like part-time. And I've set some good ground rules for me. I'm not gonna read it all, but I'll put in the little screenshot of what kind of I've came up with as some structure. Development for myself that I plan to do is to dedicate at least 1 to 2 hours for every 10 hours of table play and study my hands. And that's kind of what I'm doing this YouTube. I want to do this YouTube thing for is to document and also hold myself accountable, and for me to actually review and study my hands and be able to break it down with whoever's watching, with you guys. So whoever's watching can join me along this journey as I'm learning. I'm nowhere near a professional level, but I'm an open learner, and I work hard at whatever I set my mind to. So I'm willing to put in the hours of working, studying, and just reviewing and figuring out how I can improve my game. And right now I'm at Lucky Lady. I just finished work right now, so I'm here now at Lucky Lady Casino. I'm about to get some hours in right now to get some and try to record some hands so we can break down anything later in this video. So current bankroll I'm gonna post a screenshot of it right now of my poker analytics app, of including that house session I played earlier this year. I have a total of 6 sessions clocked in. Net result right now, I'm up $1,461 in profit. Average hourly rate of $31.45. And yeah, and so my first session that I played that house game, I won $834. My first session in the casino last week, I came down $81, and then Saturday I came up $21, and then Sunday I came up $544, and then this Monday I was down $492, and then Tuesday I came up $635. Yesterday was Wednesday, I didn't play, and today is now Thursday, June 25th today. So now we're gonna be playing today. Probably play for like 5 or 6 hours, and the main focus today is to really just stay disciplined with the ranges we play and get good at reading individual players and being able to know how to navigate and exploit any mistakes that any players might have. Let's get into some hands right now. So one of the first hands here, middle position, ace queen, under the gun raises to 7, and then under gun plus 2 calls. I re-raise here to 21, and that's gonna put everyone else to fold except under the gun. He's almost all in. I believe he has only like 8 more, so he puts in the all in for him. I had to put in like 8 more, so I think we go heads up to a flop, and it comes. I can't remember what the flop was, but it was quite terrible for our range, and the hole runs out, and we don't hit anything. No ace, no queen, nothing. And he shows pocket tens, and he wins that hand. So this next hand, we have 10 ace offsuit. One person limps in, and then middle position raises to $4. Two people call after him, and it's next to me. I re-raise to $16. Then the under the gun goes all in for 21. So then the initial raise are $4. He ends up calling, and I call as well. So the flop comes 10, queen, 10. We end up flopping three of a kind, which is nice. So I'm first to act, and I bet out for 25. He calls instantly. So we go ahead and go to the turn, which ends up being a king. And I just basically, he only has like 20 something left chips, so I go all in. I believe I have the best hand here. And yeah, another king comes out on the river, so we do a full house. I didn't get a chance to see what the other guy had opposite me, but the guy to my left had jack queen, and we take that down with the full house tens. Nice little win right there. So right into the next hand, we get ace king, and we had bet out for 20. And player across me, middle position, she calls, and we go heads up to a flop, and we don't hit anything or have anything close. But since I was the previous aggressor, I c-bet for 25, hoping to get her to fold right here, but she calls. Now the turn comes and we don't hit anything. We still only just have ace king high, and so we check right here, and she ends up pushing all in. And now here, I don't remember what the cards were on the flop and the turn, but based off of, I remember thinking about her playstyle and her range. The board favored her range more so, and even a pair, she could have a pair, two pair. My ace king is no good, so I ended up just folding. Maybe she bluffed me out, but in this moment I thought folding in this position is the best move. So this next hand, I get pocket eights. The button's on me. We get 5 people to limp, and I raise to $15. And looking back, I should have raised the higher to around 20 or 25 with that amount of limpers. And the under the gun ends up betting out for 50, so I had to make a call of 35 more dollars. One other person puts in the call in middle position. Everyone else folds, and it comes back to me, and I end up making the call. I think for $35 more, and the person who raised the 50 has a large enough stack where I'm using implied odds. If I hit a set, then it can be good, but if I don't hit it, then most likely I will have to fold the flop, and that's what ends up happening. The flop comes out 4-9 king rainbow, and the first person to act ends up going all in for 300, 400 something dollars. So he's got something strong. At that moment, I was thinking he could have a king, or he could have a higher pocket pair than I do. So, and the middle position, he ends up calling. So I know I'm beat here, and I end up making the fold. And I know decision-wise, this was the right move. But funny enough, the river ends up becoming another 8, which if I would have been in, would have been a 3 of a kind. And as my read, the early position, he had pocket jacks, so he had me beat. But in that position, trying not to be results oriented, this next hand we end up having pocket kings in the cutoff position. 2 people end up folding to me, so I end up raising to 15. The button calls. Then the big blind ends up calling as well, so we go 3 ways to a flop. Flop ends up being ace, queen, 8, rainbow, and I'm second to act. First person checks, I check, and button checks as well. This is not the best flop, and did not want to see an ace on the board. Then on the turn, a 3 comes out. Now at this time, I didn't think anyone had an ace. The first person to act, he ended up betting 22, and I shove all in, and then it's left to the button to act. And for the button, he was playing very loose, and from what I noticed from previous hands, So I didn't put him on an ace. I put him maybe on a queen or even a straight draw. And so I wanted to get all the money in and to potentially have them to both fold. But the button ends up calling me, and the first person to act, he ends up folding, interesting enough. So looking back, I feel like maybe this wasn't a great move that I made. But he ends up mucking his cards before I even show mine. I was like, honestly, my heart was fucking pumping during this hand. I thought he had something. But the fact he mucked before even I showed my cards, I was like, holy shit. And then I ended up finding out the guy who ended up folding, he had the ace. So I don't even know if like, maybe, I don't know if I don't want to be results oriented, but if me going all in causing him to fold, or the fact that the button calling made him fold. But yeah, I think it could have gone bad, but I think I got super lucky here. Yeah. So in this next hand, I have 5-6 suited hearts, and under the gun ends up raising to 16. The three people next to me, they end up folding, so I ended up making this call. I put them on a range of Broadway cards, so I think if the board favors my range, it could be a good win here. And you might not expect me hitting maybe a straight or something like that. The small blind ends up calling as well, so we go 3 ways to a flop. So the flop ends up being 8-10-4 with 2 hearts, and the small and the early position ends up checking. I check to see a free card, and the next card is the ace. So knowing his range, he probably hit the ace, or one of them maybe hit an ace, and check goes all around surprisingly. So I check as well, and on the river I hit the straight of 7. Then the small blind checks, and then the early position does a raise of 20. So in this position, I think I fucked up with, I ended up going all in, and I think I fucked up because I forgot about the small blind. I think if I had just raised to the amount that the early position has, I think he only had like 40 left. So if I just did like a raise to 60, I possibly could have got maybe the small blind to come in. But the fact that I went all in and we have about the same amount of chips, I don't think he wanted to call that. But yeah, I ended up winning that hand against the early position. He showed ace 10, oh no, ace jack. Yeah, so good read from earlier and good play. I think this was one of my better ways, my better decision making, except that last part of going all in. I think I should have just done a re-raise. Maybe he would have called, who knows. I just finished at my session. It was a quite long session, 8-hour session here at the Lucky Lady Casino, and we finished with a profit of $103. So I bought in for a total of $307, cashed out $404, and overall today was a good session. I'm glad I came out profitable, but for an 8-hour session, I think I could have done better, and I was doing better around the 4-hour, 5-hour mark. I was in profit of $412, and looking at my chart here of my stack size, early in, I lost $100, and then I started the first 1 to 2 hours, I lost $100, and then that's when I rebought for another 100, and then I climbed up all the way up to a profit of 400 and around the 4-hour mark, and then from 4 to 8 hours, it's just me like dwindling, and I was bleeding a lot. And just looking back at a lot of hands, I think I started playing a little bit too loose. It was after that one hand where I got beat by the guy's aces. He had ace deuce full house, but he made his ace at the river when I had flopped the set of tens, I believe. And when he rivered that ace, looking back, I was a little bit tilted, a little bit frustrated, and I should have definitely taken a break. That was around the 4 or 5 hour mark. That's a good time where I should be taking a break. Like this whole 8 hours, I didn't take like a good solid break. Well, the security was trying to. He was nice. He wasn't trying to kick me out, but he's just saying 5-minute policy. So wrap this up. But yeah, 8-hour session here at the Lucky Lady Casino playing 1-2. Cash game, max buy-in $200. Solid day. I could do better. Now moving forward, I'm gonna start incorporating breaks. And if I plan to play for like an 8-hour session, it's important I take that halfway mark break and really kind of take a step from the table and refresh and get my mind straight, especially after that beat like that with that hand. And yeah, so I was able to record like the beginning part that much and the end part, as my phone died in the end, so I couldn't get that last few hours of hands. But overall, still win today. Overall, I'm in profit for this week. So yeah, if you're watching this, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.